Morning, y'all. Right, today we're going to talk about Sergio's little outbursts. Let's just talk about it. I think it's always best sometimes just talk these things through. Right, I've had breakfast. I'm at the TGI show here. I'm at Turnberry today. So I'm going to do a few talks, talking to golf pros about how my life as a golf pro has changed with this kind of video stuff, really. So it should be a fun day. It's my room, look. This is what I'm doing my 4 talks in today. Hello everybody, should be fun. Right, obviously they're not here yet. So the first thing with Garcia, let's talk about this. Look, at no point in this video am I endorsing what he has done, whatever he's done, whatever it is, because the reports are different. We've all seen the bunker footage. There's reports of him damaging greens. He was reported by his playing partners, those kind of ideas. Look, I'm not endorsing any of that. It's bad. He knows he shouldn't do it. But the first thing I want to think about is that often we forget when it comes to people who earn a lot of money, do what we would all want to do when we're going around our jobs that we might not enjoy as much. It's easy to get a little nasty, a little bitter, and maybe forget that he's just a guy playing golf. The biggest thing I notice when I get to film with these people, I've been lucky enough to be quite close to Sergio as well at some point in a Pro-Am, they're just ordinary guys playing golf with a lot of pressures on them in a very stressful game. Now, if there's anything happening off course, that balances stuff on course, and I'm not saying there is, because I don't know, it can all get a little bit too much sometimes, maybe. So before we all villainise and lay in, and again, this isn't an endorsement because I think it was awful and hopefully the appropriate ban is in place or fines or whatever will happen, but let's not forget that he's just a human being playing golf and we happen to be watching. It's very easy to get very, very negative towards these players sometimes, certainly when they've done something as bad as what he's done. I'm not saying it's right, but let's just remember he's a guy, a dad, a husband, just a normal person playing golf. It's us that puts them on these pedestals. Right, driving home from a good 2 fun days with TGI up in Scotland. A good fun group of pros to chat with. So, the main reason I want to do this video is to actually try and get some positives on what is a pretty negative kind of outburst from Sergio. Remember, I'm not endorsing Sergio at any point of what he's done. I think it's completely wrong. But as a coach growing up for many years, been in golf since I was 12, as a coach since I was kind of 19, 20, I've seen lots of male golfers come through clubs I'm at, lessons I do with people, just centres I'm working at, who get so angry with their golf week in, week out, like so frustrated. And it is a frustrating game. I mean, you've seen me and all of us on camera get frustrated at some point. But I think the overriding thing is, hopefully in our videos, is how much fun we have. If I wasn't having that fun, I wouldn't be doing golf. If it could eat me up as much as it's eaten hope maybe Sergio up at the minute, and I see this in golfers day in, day out there at clubs, like I say, you know, it got to a point where I saw lots of amateurs through my years of teaching and at clubs giving up, quitting, not joining next year, just found it too frustrating, it was too difficult. And it's making sure for those people, if we want to keep them in the game, because golf is never going to be less frustrating, is it? It's more about trying to get them to understand what they want from the game. Sometimes chasing that handicap cut, that next medal win, where it's great for lots. Certainly for me now, you know, I'm playing in 1 competitive round this year by mistake because Dan kind of got me off my guard a little bit. I wish I never had entered, to be honest, but there you go. I don't get the fun from competing that way anymore. I get the fun from playing with friends in sunny places and traveling the world. It's working out what you want from your golf to make sure it's sustainable from you, because it can eat you up and it does spit you out and it does always win. You know, I've got no solutions for Sergio. Maybe he needs a little bit of a break. Maybe this is the end. Maybe he goes and speaks with someone who helps him with his anger. Maybe he puts someone on the bag who puts it more in to kind of perspective what life is about. Great example, I'm not using Westwood as an example of someone who loses their head because he's very level-headed, but he seems to have his partner on the bag at the moment, maybe gives him a different outlet in life. He's kind of suggested it in interviews. He said things like he doesn't care anymore because he realizes maybe there's bigger things afoot. He's a very successful golfer. He doesn't have to worry about everyone moaning about winning that major. He's happy with what he's achieved and is achieving, and he just wants his life to be maybe in a better place. I go on tour ranges. They're fun, but they're also, it's a lot of traveling for these guys. It can be boring. It's romantic for us in our average lives, but where it's brilliant, it can be quite quite a toll on people as well. Maybe Garcia just needs to have a rest and find that perspective. But for you at home, the golfers, absolutely finding that perspective is just so crucial for the longevity of your games and keeping it fun. Back on the road. Alright, made it home. That was a long journey. So post comments down below, let me know what you think. Are you someone that lets golf eat you up? Do you look at Sergio and see elements of the way you are on the course and how it affects maybe, I remember people affecting their weekend. Play on Saturday morning and then they're a bit grumpy when they get home to their family in the afternoon. Let's just remember, let's just keep this in perspective. For most of us, this is your leisure activity. This should be fun. For someone like Sergio, it's different. And yes, I agree, there should be an element of professionalism in there as well. But at the same time, let's not forget that he's a human being, like I said at the start. Do your emotions affect your game? And is it something you try to actively work at? I think that's what's interesting. We work on our swing, we work on our equipment, but do you actually work on how you control or not your emotions? Because it's so easy to let them to get the better side of you. And I know for a fact that having those emotions, knowing how to channel them, to channel them in a way that helps you play better is a real skill, while at the same time learning how to deal with them, to let them go, let golf win some days maybe, is equally a skill. And one maybe we just don't practice enough or at all because we're so kind of preoccupied with the many other elements of golf that we feel we need to practice. Post comments down below. I always think of someone like McEnroe. McEnroe couldn't be like Borg. They had to be different. It was their personalities and what got them to kind of get the best out of them was the way their personalities were. They were never going to be the same. If they tried to be the same, probably wouldn't have been as good of players. So it's about using it as well as controlling it, and as well as making sure you're always out there having as much fun as possible. Post comments down below. Love to hear your comments on this one because it's a hot potato, isn't it? So many people have these opinions, and I always think it's a bit of a shame sometimes the way we're always really quick to villainize these people when maybe that's because we see ourselves in them so much. I don't know. Down there. Let me know. See you all tomorrow.